Hey there, it is Alicia Carlson here, and today I want to talk to you about making sure that you've got kind of a good place to start when it comes to your exercise routine. Now, I shared in some videos past a little bit of my story, and basically the gist is this, is that for a really long time, I just sort of threw myself into a program or into a boot camp or something like that, and I didn't really give any thought to my experience, my skill set, my goals. I mean, the overall goal really for a long time was just weight loss. And thankfully, I've kind of expanded beyond that, and I've come to see that weight loss is really not the end all be all. I want to feel fit, I want to feel healthy, I want to keep up with my kids. I have a really big goal of doing my first Spartan race or my first obstacle race. I want to move well. And when I think about casting kind of that long-term vision for myself, it's so much more than just physique goals. And so when you are first starting your program, or when you are kind of exploring and just trying to figure out the fitness thing, some questions to ask yourself that could be super helpful is, what do I like to do? What am I good at? What's my skill level? Do I have any current injuries? What are my goals? What are my long-term visions for myself in terms of, like, how do you want to see yourself aging? How do you want to see yourself being active with your kids if you have kids, or your partner if you don't have kids or you don't plan on having kids? And so really kind of asking yourself those questions is going to save you a lot of time in terms of not spending countless hours on a treadmill if you don't like running, or even at the gym. If that's not your thing, if that's not your environment, then there's no sense in really trying to force yourself into that. Now, that's not to say that you couldn't at some point switch and really like going to the gym if maybe that's not your thing right now, because that was kind of me too. Like, I felt really intimidated going into a gym. I had no idea what to do, so I would just park myself over on one of the ellipticals or a treadmill or something, do about 15 or 20 minutes of cardio because that's all I could handle before I got so bored, and then I would leave. It wasn't until I got a little bit more confident, worked with a trainer for a little bit, kind of got the feel of how to do some of the machines, and then slowly just kind of, got all the way into the pool, so to speak, that I started to actually enjoy the gym. But it took kind of, exploring it a little bit and building up my confidence. So if that's where you're at too, then that's totally fine. I don't want you to completely rule it out because it's not something that you enjoy now. It might really just take some exploration. It might take working with somebody to get the form, or just kind of get the hang of it a little bit before you really decide to dive in. So asking yourself what it is that you enjoy to do. If you like to dance, then find ways that you can move your body by dancing. If you enjoy being outdoors, then maybe it's joining a hiking group. There are those meetups that you can do. Maybe it's rock climbing. Maybe it's just running outside. There are so many different options. And then, do you have any injuries? I mean, this is a huge one, and this is something that I really overlooked for a long time, because I either didn't know that I had an injury, or I didn't have maybe proper form in certain ways, and so that produced an injury down the road. But if you've got a current injury, then it's important that you take the time to kind of work through that. We don't want to work around that. We don't want to work through pain. We want to heal that area and come back even stronger. So if you have past injuries that may or may not be related to physical activity, but just injuries in general, make sure that you take the time to properly rehab that. If you are not sure about form, or you're not really comfortable necessarily moving your body, then it's worthwhile to invest in a trainer or invest in a coach or somebody that can help you get your form right and make sure that you're engaging your core, or you're doing squats in the correct way so that you don't end up getting an injury. So rehab as well as prehab are both very important things. And so we want to make sure that we're attending to any current injuries, and that we're also preventing any potential injuries by proper form, proper recovery. Are you doing the proper self-care stuff in between? So eating well, getting enough sleep, drinking enough water, foam rolling or getting massages, working with physical therapists if that's what's needed. So really it is about just kind of asking yourself some questions before you dive into a program, and maybe getting together with somebody to figure out if the exercise program or the class or the whatever it is that you're thinking about signing up for is really the best fit for you in terms of the time that it's going to take, the financial investment, your current fitness level, as well as your goals. We want to make sure that all of that kind of aligns and works together. So hopefully this gives you some things to kind of think about. You know, fitness at the core, in my opinion, should be fun. It should be something that we enjoy doing. And we know anytime that we're starting something new, there's going to be that period of discomfort because we're breaking old habits, we're trying to create new habits, or trying to rewire our brain. And so I expect that it's always going to be a little bit uncomfortable when we're pushing past that comfort zone, right? Or when we're trying to build some new habits. It's going to take some time to get used to. So I don't expect that you're necessarily going to get out there and start a program and just be in love with exercise. But that's where we want to end up, right? We want to end up loving moving our bodies and working out and exercising from a place of self-love and not that place of punishment or that place of self-hatred. And getting to that place where we enjoy it, where it's something that we put into our days because it helps us mentally, it helps us emotionally, it's making us healthier physically, and it can be such a great avenue to connect with other people. And that's huge. You know, having that social connection is really big in terms of keeping you accountable and keeping you moving towards your goals. But also that social connection is so good for you mentally and emotionally as well. So ask yourself those questions. What are your skills? What are your likes? Do you have any current injuries? What are your goals? And make sure that you are setting your intention and you're finding a workout program or you're finding a way to get active, you know, based on those needs and based on those desires and where you're starting at today. If you have any questions whatsoever about what might be a good program or a good place for you to start, please let me know. You can drop me an email, alicia@aliciacarlson.com. Go ahead and give this a like if this was at all helpful or inspirational for you. Please feel free to share this and pass this along to somebody else that has been contemplating getting started with some exercise but just isn't sure where to start. And leave me a comment below with your favorite type of exercise. What's the way that you enjoy moving your body? Maybe it doesn't feel like exercise. Maybe it's more playing at a park or playing disc golf or frisbee or running around with your kids. Leave that in the comments below. I love to see how you like to get moving, how you stay active. And until next time, make it a blessed, beautiful, and bright day. Get out, get moving, and let me know if there's any way that I can serve you.